Kat and CJ fight to stay in the game. Now on Big Brother Cheesecake 4 Office Wars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonbeth. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 4 Office Wars. It's day 71 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and we are just 2 weeks away from crowning the winner of Big Brother Cheesecake 4. This week, Nick is the head of household. He nominated Kat and CJ for eviction, but Lindsay won the Golden Power Veto in the Big Brother Monopoly Golden Power Veto competition, and because she won the Diamond Power Veto in Prank or No Prank, it was upgraded to a Diamond Power Veto, but she chose not to use it, which means Kat or CJ will be evicted tomorrow and will join Ryan, Brenda, and Curtis in the jury house, finishing in 6th place. Who will it be? We'll find out tomorrow. But first, Kat, CJ, your house guests, tomorrow will be voting to evict one of you, and I'm now going to give you the chance to plead your case with one brief statement. Kat, you're up first. Hi, house guests. 2 people out of the 6 of us are running the second half of this game. Why are we letting them? Marcin, you found out you're expendable, the bottom of the totem pole. We don't have any official agreement, but we can work well together. I need your vote to stay in this game and help me take down Lindsay and Nick. Brazil, we promised Curtis we would avenge him and take out Lindsay and Nick. They both make pretty promises, but their checks always bounce. Be my sister in arms, vote for me to stay in the game, and let's default our common enemy. It's time to fight and win. Thank you, Kat. And CJ, you're up next. How come there's an Alliance name of the day and a Michael Scott quote of the day, but there's no drink of the day? The drink of the day is Shiva's Regal Scotch. Shiva's Regal Scotch is good, and I like Scotch because Scotch rhymes with cock, and that makes me happy. That's that special 6 times level Scotch, the super duper one. Like when you get Tylenol 3 and you mix it with Scotch, don't do that at home. Woo! That shit is strong. I'm not used to Scotch. Now, I want everyone to know, you may have your mind out. Let's go and have some blue Hawaiians. Do what's best for your game. I'd love to stay. Thanks, house guest. Hi, Jen, Daddy, and Turbo. Miss ya, and I'll see you when I see ya. And fuckface, fuck you. And house guests, I want you all to know that I think you're all liars. Every single one of you is a liar. You know, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Don't forget, I'm always watching you. So, house guests, the toast to making more cocktails, because I've got another cocktail coming up for you. It's got lots of funny things, and if you want to see more cocktails and cock, then vote for me to stay. And I'm so excited that we're all going to be going to Nick's bar so he can serve me some more alcohol. And maybe he'll serve up some penis. We all know I have penis. Thanks, guys. Okay. Thank you, CJ. Now, first, I'm going to get to reality realness. So I know this is long overdue, but Monopoly happened and the mistake to Monopoly happened. But Chantel, Jojo, and Jonathan put on another fantastic episode with Curtis, who I think was a little nervous because, and I do this too, millennials in general are guilty of this, so don't take offense, Curtis, because I do it all the time, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, especially if you're a fan of the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise. A lot of them do this, and Madison, the runner, well, technically the winner of Peter's season, did this, where every other word is like. So, like, I really wanted to, like, work with, like, Ryan, but, like, he was becoming too, like, volatile, and, like, I decided it was, like, it was just too difficult for my game, and, like, I didn't want to use the poo, and, like, I had no choice. I feel like if I went up against, like, Kat, then, like, maybe I could have, like, gotten through the, like. I know, don't worry, it happens, but it was kind of funny. I think, part of me wanted to keep count, but I'm like, you were probably just nervous. It's okay. But it was funny. Curtis, Chantal mentioned that he should have held back on the Pooh Brown Power Veto for 1 week, and I agree. I think removing Kat from the chopping block and going up against Marcin, I don't know if he would have stayed. In fact, I kind of think he wouldn't have. But if you don't use the Pooh Brown Power Veto and you wait a week, the temptation to get rid of your Monopoly pieces is gone because Monopoly is in that week, and who cares if you don't play in it? I fuck it up every season, and I fucked it up this season, so who cares? So the temptation to get rid of your Monopoly pieces is gone. And worst case scenario, you get evicted anyway. At least you had 7 extra days in the house, and you finish one notch above. You finish in 6th place instead of 7th place. So I kind of feel like there's no real loss to waiting the extra week, unless you're absolutely certain you're going to stay. But again, that was your choice. And yeah, hindsight is 2020. That one is a tough call, but I do agree with Chantal. I would have waited 1 week. Otev. So I considered changing Otev in season 3. In fact, I think in part of the promos I said Otev will be getting a facelift. The reason why I like everybody posting the answers in the public, or in the group chat rather, is it causes the chaos, right? Everybody's running down, they're getting their answer, they come back up, and then they submit their answer. If you submit your answer privately, it's not exciting or suspenseful. The other thing that I consider doing is if a house guest got an answer wrong, instead of eliminating them, telling them, and I did this in season 1, telling them, no, you're incorrect, go back. And if they had a wrong answer, they would have to go back. The problem with that is in Big Brother, if in OTEV, once you kneel down on the pad, that's your answer, whatever your answer is. So it would kind of be changing the rules. And the problem with that, too, is in this case, there were only 4 possible answers: sales, accounting, customer service, and warehouse. And somebody like Julian could have just typed in all 4: sales, enter, accounting, enter, customer service, enter, warehouse, enter, so that all 4 of their answers are there. So that's another reason I couldn't do it. The format I have now, I think, is the best format, even though no format is perfect. And it was a lot of fun, I thought. And I like that it's short, too, because late in the season you want a short comp. And I enjoyed it this season, despite everybody giving wrong answers. Jonathan, every week, seems to invite people to All-Stars. Since Jack, he said, oh, Jack, you'd be great for All-Stars. You should play. Oh, Lynn, Andrew should invite you back for All-Stars. Ashley, Andrew has to invite you back for All-Stars. Brandon, Megan, Andrew will invite you back. Rai, do you think you'll be invited back? Which is code for Jonathan doesn't want you. Brenda, okay, I don't think he said it to Brenda. Curtis, do you think you'll be invited back for All-Stars? So there's only 4 house guests from this season that are going to qualify for All-Stars. And Jonathan has already invited like 7 people, not including the people left in the game. So I'm like, hello! But, anywho. Jojo thought that Lindsay's boyfriend, who did appear in Wheel of Misfortune, was cute, which means Jojo's a narcissist, since Lindsay's boyfriend and Jojo look alike. So Jojo likes himself. I'm just kidding. And I'm guilty of that at work. There's a guy who looks just like me, and I think he's hot. So, whatever. I'm going to leave. There's another comment about Jonathan I'm going to leave. Big Brother Mario Kart. I considered doing this on Zoom. It would have just been really complicated, especially since I was on my phone. I could have invited, and I thought about inviting Chantal, Jojo, and Jonathan into the group chat, and then they could watch the video. But I was expecting more house guests to be in, and if we had all 7 house guests, or 5 or 6 in the video chat, adding Chantal, Jojo, and Jonathan would have been 3 more people. Then we would have been close to 10, and I think it would have just been chaotic. Plus, I didn't think anybody actually cared about watching a dash cam facing forward of me driving like a nutcase. But anywho. But maybe next season, because I did like the Mario Kart concept, and I will likely do it again. Miss Congeniality, I think that's a good idea. Chantel, Jojo, and Jonathan will each pick their favorite house guest, and then in the Big Brother Cheesecake public forum, fans, alumni, and current house guests, because in Miss Congeniality, the delegates vote for the winner. Everybody can cast a vote, and whoever wins the vote, we have to make sure Julian and Chad can't find a way to rig it, but I think in a Facebook poll they can't do anything. Whoever wins will get the Miss Congeniality prize, which is basically Cheesecake's favorite house guest, and Jonathan will give you a prize. Which I'm so curious as to what it is. Jonathan said he had a gift for me at Christmas time, and I'm still waiting for it. I thought maybe it was his penis, but it apparently it's not. Well, I guess it could be. So Jonathan mentioned that I saw Lindsay, I can't remember when, a week ago or whatever, and that I went to have dinner with Kat before doing Mario Kart, and then he went to say that in Season 3, Jonathan asked if he could come over to my place, and I said no because of the game. Well, there's more to it than that. So first of all, Lindsay and Kat and I both go way back. So it's natural that I would see them even outside of game context, whereas Jonathan and I have actually never met in person, which is bizarre, I know. So when Jonathan asked to come over, the reason why I said no actually really had nothing to do with game. It kind of did. The reason was Jonathan and I were supposed to go on a date way back when we first met, and it didn't happen for whatever reason, but that's fine. So when Jonathan said, "Can I come over?" the reason why I said no is because, let's face it, I was attracted to Jonathan. I still think he's very attractive and good looking. And had he come over, if there's a cute boy in my condo at night overlooking the Toronto skyline, I'm going to kiss him. And I'm going to at the least, I'm going to kiss him. So I didn't want to put myself in that situation because then Jonathan at this point was in the game in Season 3. I didn't want to consciously or subconsciously favor Jonathan. And if any other house guests found out that he came over to my place and there was hanky-panky, then Jonathan might have been targeted, which would have been unfair to him. So either way, it would have been unfair to people. And it's funny because in Season 2, Joanne had a crush on Jimbo, and I don't know this, but allegedly shit happened between them, but that's a rumor, I don't know that. And Joanne also had a crush on Rob, and Rob came to Joanne's birthday party, and the house guests used that as ammo against them later in the season. But yeah, so with Jonathan, I don't know, he could have been asking to come over just to say hi and have a drink and sit on the couch and chat, but no gay man has ever been in my place alone where I don't end up at least kissing them. So, right. And I was attracted to him, and still am, and I don't know if he was attracted to me at all. Who knows? Mind you, I think we met on Tinder, so he had to at the very least swipe right, but that was way back. Okay, so yeah. So there's the tea. Jojo is loving this shit. He is in heaven right now. So that is my reality realness notes. Okay, there's two other pieces of information. An announcement. As you know, today's day 71, which means 2 weeks from today is day 85, finale night. And we are ending week 10, and at the end of this week, there are only 5 house guests left. Now, if I think all of you looked up last season at some point, or previous seasons and watched to know what's going on, but if you're wondering, how come there's 5 people left and only 2 weeks to go, it's because weeks 11, 12, and 13, along with the jury questions and final chat, weeks 11, 12, and 13 are condensed into the next 2 weeks. So there will be, week 11 is 4 days, week 12 is 3 days, week 13 is 3 days, and then we have 3 days to deliberate on who will win. The jury will deliberate and cast their votes. The reason for this, and Big Brother Canada and US does this too, is once we get down to 5 people, you don't need a whole week to determine your strategy and what's going to happen. There's no prank or no prank. There's no other twists. You should know who your final 2, final 3, and final 4 are. You should know who you want out. The head of household takes a day and the veto takes a day, but besides that, there's not much going on. the group chat gets quieter and quieter with fewer people. So you don't need a full week from 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2. Don't get me wrong, I would love to do it, but I think it would stretch it out a bit too much, too far. Even though I'll admit this season is flying by, so I would not be opposed to extending the season and having full weeks. But the pandemic it's not really over, but things are starting to open up. Summer is here, so I'm just sticking with my original schedule that I've used since season 1. And so the next 3 weeks, weeks 11, 12, and 13 are condensed into 2 weeks. This is not going to be the case in All Stars, but that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's that. So it does mean for those of you still in the game who make the final 5 that the competitions there will be more going on. So the next 2 weeks will be a lot more chaotic and busy because almost every day there's a competition or a vote or a something. There's no sort of break day. And that's why I put Monopoly in week 10, because the Monopoly is sort of a 3-day break for everybody. Even myself, I film it all at once, and this season didn't end up that way. But by putting it as 3 days, you all kind of get to relax before the perfect storm that comes at the end of the season. So it kind of works out that way. The Head of Household competition. Normally, Tuesday would be when I announce the rules for the next Head of Household competition, but all I'm going to say is this competition is specifically designed for 4 people, so I can't have all 5 of you, minus Nick, who's outgoing Head of Household, play. Tomorrow I work an early shift, so the video will be up early and the rules will be up early, and it's not a live competition, so as soon as you see the rules, and if it's your turn, you can just go ahead and play. And Nick, being that he wakes up at like 3 p.m., it's not going to be affected because he's not eligible to compete. So because normally we would play on Tuesday and the results would be announced on Wednesday, because it requires 4 people, we need to know who's going to be evicted. So Wednesday after the eviction will be the Head of Household competition rules. The Head of Household competition will take place throughout the day Wednesday, and the winner will have a very small window. The winner will only have until 10 p.m. Wednesday night, so only a few hours to decide who they're nominating. And then either Thursday or Friday, depending on what everybody votes on, because it'll be a live competition, will be the Golden Power Veto competition. Okay. So that's it. With that said, who will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 4 house, fired from Dunder Mifflin, lose their shot at the $400 Cheesecake Factory gift card, and finish the game in 6th place, joining Rai, Brenda, and Curtis in the jury house? Kat or CJ? Find out tomorrow, and we will have the rules to the next Head of Household competition. And we will learn the identities of the final 5. I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Take care, and we leave you as we eavesdrop on the house guests. Good night.